Yon, welcome back sa Teacher Mark Reacts. And ang pag-uusapan natin, ito muna, no? So, tomorrow, I would like to invite you all. Bukas, meron tayong special guest. No, tomorrow and bukas, parang redundant yun ah. So, bukas meron tayong special guest sa mga sawsawero sa Discord, Life and Law, rediscovering Attorney Claire Castro. This will air 7 o'clock p.m. no, sa mga sawsawero sa Discord. So, I would like you guys to join us, no, and rediscover who is Attorney Claire. Since medyo, syempre sanay naman tayo kay Attorney Libayan, lagi nating napapanood si Attorney Libayan. So, it's time for us to know Attorney Claire better. Diba? So, huwag kayong mag-alala, hindi natin gagawin to na katulad nung nakaraan dun sa kabilang kubol na may nag-iiyakan pero iba yung topic. No, this time hindi natin itatouch yon yung nangyaring debate. No, this is all about Attorney Claire Castro. So, ayan guys, bagong lahat, gusto ko muna palang batiin si Stone Trooper. Wait lang. Ayan, Stone Trooper, magandang gabi. Les, magandang gabi sa'yo. Ice Heart, magandang gabi. No Nonsense. Hummingbird, Cold Rain, good evening. Addictus Rex, Mekus mo na yan. Cynthia, Imperius, magandang gabi. Jershom, good afternoon or good evening sa'yo. Capsuza, sabi dito. Rosalinda, napasubo si Kayu. Mawawalan na siya ng channel. Well, if it is meant to be, then it will be. Actually, that is a part of a bigger plan for Kayu. No? Sabi nga naman niya, pagod na siya. He wants to rest. Kamikaze style. Diba? Rosalinda, siya. Naghahamon ng dilita ng channel. Sabi dito. King Muriem, hello. Meruem para. Rather. Panakot lang niya yon. Hindi inaasahan na. Actually, hindi. Long before, no? Decided na siya na he wants to do it. And we cannot do anything to change that one. No? That is Kayu's call. Kami nandito lang naman to support. No? Elcid, magandang gabi sa'yo. Harvey Vicar. Cesa. Sabi ni YGSS dito, Teacher Mark, 30 minutes LS, later, bukas yung Sawsawero. There's no live today for Sawsawero. Ayun, JM Yap, Mylene, Sinen, magandang gabi. Kuya Jules, Bian Tumbling, ayan, Tintin Huico, Mojo Jojo, Liz, sino pa ba dito? May Gonzales, Margo, magandang gabi. Vino, shoutout sa'yo. Ano pa ba? No Nonsense, Len Lensky, ayan, Cesa, Mipo, Jess Degona, magandang gabi sa'yo. Dorzila, Joaquino, Stone Trooper, Arlene Lualhati, magandang gabi. Watching from Macau. Shoutout po sa inyo. Sino pa ba? Piltrum, Pilleo. Ayan, magandang hapon or magandang gabi sa'yo. Cold Rain, The Alpha, Sheila Reyes. Ayan, Robert, Mojix, magandang gabi. Ern, Marie Linda Valencia, magandang gabi. Valerie Serna, Edwin Lamera, magandang gabi. Watching here from General Santos City. Uy, maganda dyan ah. Sino pa ba? Eric Hikaboy, magandang gabi. So, umpisa na natin. No? Doon sa mga hindi ko mababate, shoutout na lang sa inyo. No? Let's do this.
And qualification. It states only seafarers certified by appropriate government agencies according to the STCW and other applicable international standards shall be allowed to work and be employed on board a ship. Who is this? Who are these appropriate government agencies? Is this clear in the bill?
Nagtanong na agad.
We're talking here of
Ayan, Dorzila, birthday ko nga pala, Teach. Happy birthday sa'yo, Dorzila. No? Mabuhay ka hanggang gusto mo, Dors. Ayan, sabi dito. Day 1, good evening, Arlene Ern. Ayan, happy birthday.
Marina, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Is it clear in the bill?
No. Actually, it's not included in the bill. It should be only safer certified by hindi appropriate government agency. Diba? By Marina, according to the STCW, pag Ako lang naman ha.
It is specified on the role of government
Sabi dito, a lawyer and a cum laude versus mecus citador. Actually, we have some some friends telling us that Pia, no, is the smiling terror, no? When you talk to Pia and she's smiling, you F up. You F up. Sorry, I'm not wearing orange now, but you F up.
agencies, Your Honor, Mr. President.
What section is that, Your Honor, Mr. President?
One update dito, no? Ito kasi mangyayari diyan, no? Ang mangyayari diyan, ito kasi ngayon lang tinapos ng Senado. Ang lower house or ang Congress, no? Tapos na yung sa kanila March pa lang this year. So super late na tong version ng Senado. Mantakin nyo, March 25 tapos na sila sa Congress. Sa Senado, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months. 6 months ang sinayang nila bago nila itakal to. No? And mas maganda yung actually, sa tingin ko magbabaycam sila because yung itong sa House of Representative. Andali. Ano ba yun? 72 House 7325. Wait lang. Para makita natin, ha? Ito. Tapos na siya sa third reading, no? So magbabaycam na. Ngayon, kung titingnan nyo to, natin dito. Section 25. For example, Section 25 natin. Training, hindi, magkaiba eh. Training qualifications dito eh. Ano ba to? Training and qualifications. Ay. Control F. Okay. So, pag makikita nyo dito kay Rapi, no? Napaka-iksi lang nung kanya. Nung sa law niya. Only seafarers certified by appropriate government agencies according to the STCW and other applicable international standards shall be allowed to work and be employed on board the ship. Ngayon, kung titignan natin yung dito sa Congress, no? Sabi dito, seafarers shall not work on a ship unless they are trained or certified as competent and qualified to perform their duties. Training and certification in accordance with the mandatory instruments adopted by International Maritime Organization or IMO shall be considered as meeting requirements of this section. So, dun pa lang, magkaiba na sila. 'Di ba? Ito is TCW. Dito IMO. So, malamang sa malamang mataas yung chance na mag-bycam sila. Actually, mas gusto ko tong version ng ng Congress kasi more siya, comprehensive kumbaga. Hindi lang siya yung kay Rafi Tulfo kasi it's too too big and simple. 'Di ba? Ayan. Tapos na 'yan. And ito yung napirmahan din. Ayan. Ralph Wendell Tulfo and Tulfo Jocelyn. Ayan. Nakapirma sila dyan. No? This was passed. Ay, no? Date filed 28. Natapos to March. Ayan. Diba? Paano kasi inuna pa yung grandstanding eh? Tapos ngayon, naabutan sila ng closing. Diba?
Akong nahirapan sa inyo eh.
Narinig niyo yun, guys? Nanisi na. Ito, guys, ha?
That, Your Honor, Mr.
Well, ito yung mangyayari dito pag nag-bycam. It's either pag sasamahin nila yung bill, no? Or It's either i-adapt nila yung isang bill lang. No? For example, mas maganda yung sa Congress, i-adapt nila yung Congress version, not the version of Raffy Tulfo. Ngayon, kung mas maganda tong version ni Raffy Tulfo, i-adapt nila itong version ni Raffy Tulfo, hayaan na lang nila yung Congress version. Or, it's either both. No? Pagsasamahin lang nila.
Mr. President.
Ako nahihirapan sa inyo eh.
Akong nahihirapan sa inyo eh. Nanisi ka pa. Kasalanan ba nila yun na hindi mo alam yung mga pinagsasabi mo? Di ba? You're the principal author of the law and you should know your bill. Every provisions included in there, dapat alam mo yan. Alam mong i-explain. Di ba? Hindi yung umasa ka na lang doon sa mga lawyers mo, doon sa mga bumubulong dyan sa tabi mo, tapos sasabihin mo, akong nahihirapan sa inyo. Diba? Hindi naman nila trabaho yung trabaho nila, i-coach ka, maybe, no? Gawin yung mga batas na, hindi ka nga marunong gumawa ng batas. Gawin yung mga batas na gusto mo. Ano bang trabaho mo, Raffy Tulfo? Idepensahan yung batas. Amyendahan yung batas kung kinakailangan. Paano mo madidepensahan o maamyendahan yung batas kung hindi mo inaral? Diba? Brian, magandang gabi sa'yo. Sponsor lang siya, Teacher Mark. Di siya ang mismong nag-author po niyan. I think si ano dito eh. Ang nag-author nito Bong Revilla, tama ba? Last Congress. Maya Pabengi. Luid ka? Ayun, Makigraphy, magandang gabi sa'yo. Teacher Mark, author ba siya or sponsor? I think sponsor lang siya ata eh. Kasi itong bill na to, I think napasa na to 18th Congress with Bong Revilla. Ngayon, naabutan lang ng closing, hindi na napansin. Diba? Hello, Chris. Nung ginawa siguro ni Idol yung bill with his attorney, siya siguro yung tagaluto ng pancit canton. Sino bang dapat nakakaalam niyan? Siya. Diba? Bong Revilla. Yes, no? Parang yun yung nakita ko before nung nag-research ako regarding it na si Bong Revilla nagpasa. Tapos, parang parang nakalimutan na, ini-sponsor niya uli.
Section 84, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Section 84 of this bill. My question is it clear in this bill?
Is it clear in this section? Kasi, kung babasahin mo, it's very vague eh. Appropriate government agencies. There are many government agencies.
Well, it's included in the bill because it's stated on section. Hindi, ang tinatanong ko nasa bill.
Sabi niya, it's stated on section, tapos, anong tinatanong niya? Wala sa bill. Seryoso? Co-author, sabi rito. Bong Revilla. Ayan, sponsor lang si Idol Teach. Ayan. Co-author. Nakangiti pa ang hype. Year 2016. Kahit siya yung sponsor, dapat alam pa rin niya yung pinafile niya, sabi rito. Hirap talaga mag-intindi. Hirap talaga pag hindi pinag-aaralan. Actually, dapat pinag-aaralan mo yun eh, kahit sa thesis nga eh, di ba? Paano mo ma-defend yung thesis mo kung hindi mo alam yung nakapaloob doon sa thesis? Kakainin ka lang. Di ba? Wala. Taga ano ka lang doon? Okay. Di ba?
It's stated on section. Hindi, ang tinatanong ko nasa bill. It's in the bill on section 84.
Page 45.
Ano ba yung section 84? Section 84.
Sabi dito ni YGSS. Wait lang. Yan na natin, ha? I'm very critical with this controversial railroading in the Philippine Constitution. There is this provision. Credit grabber si Raprap. Kung gagantihan niya si Senator Pia, hindi siya mapapahiya. Kung kailangan i-defend niya kay Pia, tsaka nagpaturo. Tagaluto ng pancit canton nga eh. Diba? No bill passed by either house shall become a law unless it has passed 3 readings on separate days and printed copies thereof in its final form and have been distributed to its members 3 days. Actually, yung sa Congress tapos na nga. Ito pa lang, no? Hindi ko alam kung pasado na siya for 3 readings, no, on separate days. Tapos printed and distributed to its members 3 days. 'Di ba? It's so rush nga kasi. 'Di ba? Itong batas na to, after this one, nagbotohan na sila eh.
Page 42, Your Honor. Says here, the following government agency shall perform the following functions to promote the welfare and protect the rights of Filipino seafarers.
Hindi pa rin niya gets. What? Government agency. Ang sinabi mo,
Says here, the following government agency shall perform the following functions to promote the welfare and protect the rights of Filipino seafarers.
the following government agency, which doesn't answer the question. The question is it clear kung anong government agency?
Agencies.
Is there,
Paragraph G.
yes, I found it, Your Honor.
Okay.
So according to Your Honor, just for the record, the appropriate government agencies referred to here in section 25 is the Marina, which is provided for in section 84. Are there any other government agencies?
Marina, bukod sa Marina,
Laging dapat kasi Rafi Tulfo, no? Courtesy when you are speaking in the plenary. You should, if you're talking with your lawyers, no? You should turn off the mic. Because, no? Nakapture nun yung pagkikipag-usap mo dun sa lawyer mo. And it shows that you are not competent. You don't know what you're saying. And so on and so forth. So you need to close it at all time.
include ba dito yung CHED? Also CHED, Your Honor, Mr. President.
Are there any other?
Stutter na siya nung kinain siya ng buhay ni Pia dito. Marina. Tapos, tanong siya. Said, Your Honor. Tapos sabi lang sa kanya, are there any other? Stutter.
Also the National Maritime Polytechnic, the NMP. Mr. President, Your Honor.
Should I ask again if there's any other? Because when I ask one, there's another. So would you like?
Parang gustong sabihin ni Senator Pia, no? Bakit pag binibigay mo, yung sagot mo, parang hulugan. Di ba? Ibigay mo na ng buo, wag hulugan. Kaysa dun sa tinatanong ka, are there any other? Meron pa ba? Magsasabi ka ng isa. Tapos tatanungin ka uli, meron pa ba? Magsasabi ka uli ng isa. It's a basic courtesy. If you're asked, are there any other? Give it all. Diba? Wag yung pabitin-bitin.
Like,
The Marina, the NMPA, the National Maritime Polytechnic, and CHED, Mr. President, Your Honor.
okay. In that case, would His Honor like to mention these agencies in section 25 because it necessitated consultation with the resource persons to get the answer, and I would just again for the same reasons I've been repeatedly mentioning, I
Hello, Elroy. Magandang gabi sa'yo.
just want there to be more clarity. So if His Honor is acceptable, let us just name these three agencies and instead of appropriate government agencies.
Kasi kaya hindi na namin nilagay, Mr. President, Your Honor, training qualifications. Dito kasi sa Section 42, nandiyan na po yung role of government agencies na kung saan i-refer dito sa Section 25. Pero kung yun ang gusto nyo, pwede namin ilagay. Alang-alang
It's not about what Senator Pia wants. Ang sabi niya, if you want, if the sponsor want, no, you can put it here. Pero pagdating kay Rapi Tulfo, gusto mo sige, pagbibigyan kita. 'Di ba? Nining top 1 versus Boy Invento. Blasco, magandang gabi. Alex?
lang po sa inyo.
Hindi ho, wag ho kayo mag-amend alang-alang
For
sa akin.
purpose of clarity,
Parang ano rin to, no? Parang yung remember that one time, no, na nag-plenary si Robin Padilla. Tapos binola niya. Binola niya si Pia. Ang sabi ni Pia, hindi po ako makukuha sa mga pambobolang ganyan. Ganun na ganun din siya. Ay, nako talaga.
po sa inyo.
Hindi ho, wag ho kayo mag-amend alang-alang
For
sa akin.
purpose of clarity.
Kung saan ho tingin nyo na mas maliwanag.
Maliwanag na nga ito kung tutusin po, Your Honor, Madam.
No, it's not. Kasi nga, marami namang appropriate government agencies. You should be concise with the law. What government agencies is that? Yung next section mo, nasa section 45. Rapi Tulfo, it's very far. Diba? Malay ba nung babasa kung anong nasa section? It's better for you to be straight on it. Diba? Only seafarer certified by those government agencies, yung mga yon, yung mga sinabi mo, ilagay mo dyan. Rather than the person, no, will go to section 45, sa kanya lang mababasa. Ito pala yung mga government agencies. Ay. Maliwanag pero di niya naiintindihan. Hello, attorney. Magandang gabi. Attorney, parang now the end is near.
Kaya lang,
Pero kasi nung tinanong ko ho kayo, parang hindi pa ho kagad makasagot ang mga resource persons. So I wasn't sure if hindi pa clear. But if it's very clear, I will not make an amendment, Your Honor.
Bato kasi lahat na lang kinuha niya sa resource person. Ay. Parang, paano po kasi, sir? Tayong dalawa yung nag-uusap, pero parang yung resource person yung kausap ko. Ako niyan, sasabihin ko na lang, Del, upo ka muna sa Gedli, yung resource person na lang paupuin mo. Parang mas may alam yung resource person kaysa sa'yo. Di ba?
Your Honor, the resource persons are the one who give
Biyahe ako kanina, sabi ni attorney. Well, to cut the story short, kumasa na si Melobex, no? Kayo will talk with you about it later. Pero kumasa si Melobex. Ayun, dati kasi maraming agency ang may hawak sa mga seafarers. Example, licensing sa PRC, training sa TESDA, documentation sa Marina. Napunayan ng mga European Maritime, kaya inisa na lang nila lahat sa Marina, sabi rito. Diba? Ay. Ano sabi dito? Maliwanag para sa kanya kasi 4 na ilaw ng tahanan ni Idol. Good evening, John Teach. Sobrang liwanag nun. Patricio, title ng bill, ang matitira. Carlito, parang boxer si Rap na tinanong ng rep kung kaya pa. Sabi niya, kahit hilo. Ariels, magandang gabi. Sen Malyenan, ayan, magandang gabi sa'yo. Dwight, good evening, Attorney L. Sabi dito, Maple, pag nawala si Caio, magiging alamat siya sa Filipino YouTubing. The Legend of Caio.
gives me advice at sila po ang nagpapaliwanag sa akin tungkol sa mga advice. The resource persons are the one who gives me advice at sila po ang nagpapaliwanag sa akin.
But that is not what we are seeing. Hindi sila yung But they're not giving you advice. They're not explaining it to you. You're getting answers from them. Magkaiba yung, sir, ganito po kasi yan. No? Doon sa, sir, ang sagot po dyan yung ano ito. Diba? Siya na lang yung magaling. Binigyan lang siya ng advice, pero ang totoo, ini-spoon feed siya.
Tungkol sa mga nakasulat sa bill na ito. And they are the ones that tells me kung ano yung mga pwedeng isingit o hindi amendments dito po sa bill. Now,
No. Actually, no. Sila yung nagbibigay ng mga amendments at pwedeng isingit, while in fact someone is talking to you, amending the law. Your co-senators are amending the law. Paano na yung mga kasama mong senador na nag-contribute para sa batas mo? Na gustong ilakad? Wala lang, ganon. Thanks to my resource person. Diba?
ulitin ko po for the second time, kasi po hindi nilagay itong yung mga government.
Hello, Joey Villanueva. Magandang gabi. Ikaw dapat ang magde-decide kung anong ilalagay. Fake it till you make it, Senador Idol. Sabi ni Matayos, di niya alam yung proofreading.
Government agencies na binanggit ko kanina tulad ng ST, yung O.
Kitang, dito pa lang sablay ka na eh. If the resource person that you have only gives you advice, di dapat sana alam mo yung isasagot mo. Sa bagay, sabi nga pala nito nung nakaraan, no? Nung nakaraang committee hearing niya, hindi siya magaling sa abbreviation. 'Di ba? Kaya wag gumamit ng abbreviation. Kayo naman eh. Alam kasi ni Senator Pia na walang kaalam-alam si Idol sa bill na yan. Kaya dinidikdik talaga siya dyan hanggang maging abo, sabi rito. Sabi ni Kuching. At least di na lang tayo nakakapansin sa kanyang incompetence. Pati mga senator, pansin na rin. And now, pati buong mundo. Sabi ni Hil Mendoza. Tapos, pag may mali, di niya kasalanan. Kasalanan ng resource person yon. Diba? Resource person na pala ngayon yung tagagawa ng batas. Di nga niya alam yung trabaho niya eh.
Yung CHED, NMP, and Marina sa Section 25, kasi po understood na yon pagdating sa role of government agencies,
Shout out Ivan Morales.
nandun na included na yon. But we can accept your amendment.
I did not make an amendment yet, Your Honor. I was
Iba yung I would like to amend doon sa kung gusto ng sponsor, pwede niyong palitan to make it more clear. Kaya ka na Kukoy, what's up? Kaya ka nababasag eh. Diba, you're making assumptions that Senator Pia wants to make the amendment, but she is just making some suggestions. Diba, this bill I think should be void. It violated the process stated in the Constitution.
just asking
President ko, hello.
a question, and after I heard the answers, I said it's up to His Honor. On
No,
that,
it's up to you. It's a suggestion. Kung gusto mong palitan or not. Kung ayaw mo, edi wag mo. But you're stating that Senator Pia is making another amendments already.
that note, hindi ho ba kasama din dyan ng TESDA? Kasi pag narinig ho ni Majority Floor Leader na si TESDA pang nakalimutan natin, baka ho tumakbo bigla dito yon. Ayan na ho, tumatakbo na ho.
Alam nyo na kung sino yun. Sabi nga ni Mang Rene, di ba? May TESDA sila. May test training sa TESDA. But here, TESDA is not included dito sa provisions na to. Di ba? Ngayon, kailangan to the rescue. See? Sino? Si TESDA man.
Andito yung TESDA.
Kasama ho ba ang TESDA?
Kasama pa rin po sa TESDA.
Ang TESDA po kasama.
Kasama po yung TESDA.
Sige po, I am not making an amendment. I am leaving up to His Honor to make that decision.
Saan bang TESDA? Saan bang TESDA rito?
Oo. So, hindi kasama. Dinig nyo? Ito ha, sabi niya, sinungaling talaga to eh.
His Honor to make that decision.
Saan bang TESDA? Saan bang...
Saan ba yung TESDA? Hindi niya makita. Nangangapa siya dun sa bill niya, guys. Hinanap niya kung nasan yung TESDA, kakasabi niya lang kasama po ang TESDA. Check ng ganun. Diba? With conviction. Tapos sasabihin niya, saan ang TESDA? Ibig lang sabihin, wala kang alam, syung sabi ni Chris. Diba? Parang hindi na pahabain. Oo na lang ng oo kay Pia.
If I may just give a information, Mr. President, it's no longer because it's
No,
no
yan,
longer
hinahanap niya. Nangangapa, guys. Kailangan pang umano. Sumingit ni TESDA man.
with TESDA, so it's now with Marina. Your Honor,
So then I have made my point. Hindi maliwanag kung sino kasama, kung sino hindi kasama, di ba?
I checked it. It's
So napatunayan na nagsisinungaling si Rapi Tulfo. Na debated si Rapi Tulfo when it comes to Senator Pia. No. Lahat sa Marina na. Ngayon, sinagot ni Rapi Tulfo, ito yung mga government agencies. Ito, iyan, ito. Na nasa Section 45. Tapos, sinabi naman ni... Hindi pala siya sinakluluhan. Mas lalong linubog. Mas lalong linubog siya. Nilaglag siya ni Villanueva. Nasa Marina na.
no longer part of the draft bill, Mr. President.
Yung TESDA, Mr. President, it says here, the TESDA shall, in consultation with chair...
Ilulusot pa niya talaga. Oh, that is that says here. Sige, lusot.
Yung TESDA, Mr. President, it says here, the TESDA shall, in consultation with CHED and Marina. Pagdating sa training, of course,
Ay, nako. Na-dissect siya eh. Sabi dito, dissected by one and only. One by one, ni Neneng Top 1 ang bill ni RT. Akala kasi niya, pas lang agad ng batas. Di niya kailangan pag-aralan. Pinakita ni Pia na binabasa at pinag-aaralan ng batas. Odette Charit, tawagan si Atty. Garrett. Or sabi ni Marvin dito, di ba sabi ng Senate President, if there's no objection, the amendment is approved. Ano yung sinabi niya na siya ang nag-approve ng amendment? Ay, digging his own grave, sabi rito. Ang saya-saya, nakatagpo ng katapat. Di ba, Villanueva? Black ka dyan. Dapat mag-resign na si Idol at mag-host na lang siya ng Wanted sa radyo. Maraming mabibigyan ng tulong na nag-aaway ang mag-asawa. 2 versus 1. Welcome to the legislative work. Sabi dito ni J. Pro, yan ang napapala ng puro spoon feeding lang. Diba? Welcome. Kinain. Diba?
TESDA kasama in consultation with CHED and Marina. Mr. President, Your Honor.
Senator Joel is the expert, so
I'm
we
also a
defer
bit
to the
confused.
Ginamit yung tropa mo laban sa'yo. Paano ba yan? Sabi niya, sinong nagsisinungaling sa inyo? Dating TESDA, chief yung nagsabi na sa Marina na. Tapos ikaw sinasabi mo, TESDA pa rin. So, who's lying now? I doubt kasi ni-fight ka sa Senado. ito, nag-handle ng TESDA before. So, sinong paniniwalaan ko? Ryan, magandang gabi sa'yo. Baka matulungan siya ni Melo. Sana dinala niya dyan. Teach. Sabi dito. Teach, remember po, sa interview ni Idel kay George Babaw, sabi niya, maigsi pasensya niya. Pag may gusto siyang magawa, dapat paggawa sa mga staff niya, kailangan ura-urada. Actually, yes, no? Dito mo maano rin magigage kung gaano kaiksi yung pasensya niya.
Mr. President, because if it is program registration, then I'd say yes. And development of training regulations. But if it is assessment, I am pretty sure that it was during my time when it was transferred to Marina, Your Honors.
Nilaglag. kaya siya siguro mapipikon. Di ba, Jumang? Hello. Kaya siya mapipikon kasi nilaglag siya.
Well, the provision kasi, Your Honor, that is in if I may, Mr. President, Senate Majority Floor Leader, the provision in
Good evening, Crisel Escorrido. Ayan. Magandang gabi sa'yo.
question is Section 25 that says only seafarers certified by the appropriate government agency. So the wisdom we seek from the Majority Floor Leader, former TESDA Director General, is would TESDA be certifying?
Lindsay,
Because that
magandang
is the
gabi.
operative word in this section.
Actually, I get where Senator Pia is going, no? Na it's very vague nga talaga. Appropriate government agencies, 'di ba? There are many government agencies. Alin doon? 'Di ba? So sabi nga ni Mang Rene, it is included in one, which is Marina. So if iamin to, let's say only seafarers certified by Marina, according to the STCW and other applicable international standards, shall be allowed to work and be employed on board a ship. Simple. Diba? Hello, Egay. Magandang gabi.
The lady senator from the GIG just wants to clarify which agencies.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, because it's not very clear.
And I mean, I think this question, the interjection of the Majority Floor Leader precisely illustrates my point that it should just be clear.
Okay.
I was doing something else, Mr. President, when this representation caught the
Buenas noches,
The magic
Cosmo
word,
Defender.
TESDA.
of
Hello, JDE.
of the two
Mateus Maximus, sabi dito, pumili ka, inutil or ob-ob. Mahina utak mo or it's all of the above. Best example of domicile nasa voters registration, sabi ni Egay.
colleagues of mine. Mr. President, I don't see any harm in this particular provision in this particular provision on page 46, where TESDA, it says, shall in consultation with CHED and Marina develop, establish, and implement non-degree courses and programs on maritime education and other quality technical education and training programs for seafarers who may want to learn new skills or enhance their existing skills. It
So they're
only
not
means,
cited
Mr. President,
develop.
TESDA is in charge of training regulations, of developing programs that will enable to help Marina to be able to implement, Mr. President, what was transferred to them, Mr. President, because the expertise remains with TESDA. So I don't see any problem having this, Mr. President, in this particular measure. Thank you. I hope I was able.
But it doesn't answer the question of Senator Pia. Diba? So, TESDA is there to govern. Diba? Parang ano yan parang gobyerno. Ngayon, ang magsa-certify pa rin ay ang Marina. So, Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin na agencies yung Marina kasi
Clear.
singular yun. Diba?
A bit,
Hey, Betchay, magandang gabi.
but your task is not yet over. So you have clarified, Mr. President, the Majority Floor Leader has clarified that Section 84
Parang ano ha, parang 2 versus 1 ha. Nirescue naman niya si Idel. Pero, a bit, wait. Wait, tatakas ka na ha. Huwag ka bang tumakas. Balik ka rito.
remains relevant.
Yes, Mr.
So
President.
my question is whether the sponsor believes it is necessary to identify each
Sabi dito ni George. Teacher, asaan si Robin na savior ng mga binabastos na barbar? Bakit wala siyang say? Takot ba siya kay Idol? Ayun, nagpakita ng sawa. Ay, hindi pala sawa. Earthworm. Ay, nako. You cannot unsee. Ay, nako.
government agency that a seafarer needs to seek certification from. And so when I asked, he mentioned 3, and then I thought of Your Honor, and I asked TESDA, and the answer was yes, but the Majority Floor Leader says no. So that is precisely my point. Baka mamaya, pag pinasa natin to, mag-insist na, "Ay, hindi, punta kayo sa TESDA." If I understand correctly,
Yeah.
Majority Floor Leader is saying,
Tama.
no, you don't need to. But the response that I was given just before you walked in
If it
is
is-
papasok si TESDA. So this should be clarified.
If it is STCW, it's no longer with TESDA.
Oh, so Marina. It's not TESDA, Marina rather. Marina should be put here.
When it comes to certification. What is stated here, Your Honor, distinguished
Kulugo yung pinakita.
colleague, is that TESDA remains would remain the certifying body in developing
The
programs.
programs, but
Yes.
not the
Training
individual. But
Yes.
not certifying the
Yes.
individual. They are certifying the programs.
Programs, Mr. President.
Oh.
Yes, that's what I
Yeah,
mean. That's what
Jack-
it means, Mr.
May,
President.
if the agencies are enumerated on section 24, Your Honors, why don't we just put there, we mentioned section 24.
Mag-ano na rin siya. Yung Senate President the rescue na rin.
Section 84.
Magandang gabi, Gomer Naesa.
For example, only seafarers certified by appropriate government agencies.
Ayun, nag-livestream si RP.
No, Mr. President, Section 84 includes NLRC. Parang it's a basic enumeration of various government agencies. It is not limited to the certification. My only concern, and I will repeat, I leave it to the sponsor. I just don't want that when it leaves the halls of Congress, later on, for example, our expert in
Mamaya magkaroon ng loophole. Yun yung ayaw nang mangyayari ni Senator Pia na magturuan sila which government agency will govern the accreditation or the certification for the seafarers. No? Yun lang naman yun. And no, ang sinabi niya nasa, no? Yung nasa sponsor kung gusto niyang baguhin o hindi. I just want to clarify.
TESDA will say, hindi niya job mag-certify, ba't kayo nagpapa-certify dyan? So that's why the intention of the legislative body should be very clear, and that must come from the sponsor.
Okay, but you test.
Hello, Rene Ranoa. Magandang gabi sa'yo. Marhaina Banggi, Teacher Mark. Hello, Hernardo Bonesile. Tama ba?
7:30.
Di,
Mr.
magandang
President,
gabi.
Your
Yes, Your
Honor,
Honor.
tapos na po yung period of interpellation natin.
Ayan na, ito na tayo, ito na, Inchan, mekos na yan, di ba? Ito na, mekos na. Let's get it on.
Mr. President,
May Agana, hello Gail, magandang gabi sa'yo. J4, Ride Vlog, good evening. Sir Amik, J Pro, TM, pause mo muna, kukuha lang ako ng popcorn. Sir Tayamik, si Idol bago ipalit na lang na Senyor Aguila kasi Longko na sa Senado. Siya ang may patuoy ng Republika sa Siargao. Senyor Aguila, no? Great catch you in the live stream again. It's the second time. Hello, Kim Marcelo. Shoutout sa'yo. Let's get it on.
President, Your
Yes,
Honor,
Your Honor.
tapos na po yung period of interpellation natin, period of amendments na ito. Sana ang request ko lang po,
Tapos na ang period of interpellation natin. Now is the time for the period of amendment. What this Senator Pia is asking, no? Because you can amend this, no? To make it more concise, make it more clear. It's still part of amending. Parte pa rin yan, Rapi Tulfo. Ay, nakakahiya yung mga nakaupo. How sad. Maraming salamat, AC, sa pakulay. No? Nagpapakulay na si AC ngayon. Diba? Parang fly by night lang, sabi ni Marvin. Diba? Ang simpleng intindihin.
sabihin lang niya sa akin kung ano yung amendments niya and I will say whether I accept or not. And if I do not accept it, and I will explain. Ang nangyari po kasi, pina-explain niya muna ako, na bumabalik tayo sa interpellation, and then after ma-explain ko, pwede niyang i-amend at pwede niyang hindi. Napapahaba lang po tayo. Bakit?
No. You cannot amend right away because there are certain parts, no? May mga parte yang batas mo na hindi clear sa kanya. Paano niya i-amen kung hindi nga niya alam kung clear na ba to or hindi? Kaya nga tinatanong ka, di ba? Para alam niya yung intention mo doon sa section na sinulat. Rapi Tulfo. Don't take it as personal. Diba? Ang gusto lang ng mga tao mapaganda itong batas na to para pag binagbangga doon sa batas na meron ng lower house or the House of Representatives, no? May chance na mag-prevail yung batas mo. Hindi siya kakainin nung batas ng Congress.
Hindi na lang po niya, Mr. President, Your Honor, sabihin na lang kung anong gusto niyang amendment, anong linya yon, and then I'll say accept or not. If I don't accept, and I'll tell the good senator from Taguig why I'm not accepting. Para mapabilis lang po tayo. Kaysa naman po, kailangan
And one more thing, no? Hindi yan kasi nirarush. This is a law. A law is hard, no? It will be hard to amend the law, Rafi Tulfo. Kaya kailangan nating mag-ingat. Tapos itong batas na to will affect many people. Hindi pwedeng padalos-dalos tayo sa paggawa ng batas kasi nga maraming maapektuhan. Although you say, yes, no? This is Magna Carta for seafarers. It protects our seafarers. But, no law is perfect, Rafi Tulfo. At least naman, before you present it to the public, before you implement it, planchado na. Yes, may mga kinks pa rin, but overall planchado, malinis. Ay, naku, daming issue sa kapit bill niya. So, disappointing, sabi ni O.D. Alteram Partem. Mark Jo, siya daw kasi teach, 2 to 3 days lang solve na ang kaso. Cut the process. Exactly, yun yung gusto niya. Cut the process. Wag nyo na akong tanungin. Ipasa nyo na lang. Ganun. That is dictatorship, Rafi Tulfo. Sabi ni Kim, Sus Mariosep Idol, stupidity to the highest level. Ay, naku. Sabi ni Ivan Morales, ayaw niya ang due process. Salata niya, oo, hindi lang. Diba? That is the process. Dude, remember, you can't hold the mallet. It's the man in front of you. Ay.
kailangan pa muna ako magpaliwanag, babasahin niya, kailangan ko pa magpaliwanag, and then hindi siya satisfied sa paliwanag ko, then magkakaroon ng debate. At kapag halimbawa na satisfied siya sa paliwanag ko, then hindi na siya mag-amend. Humahaba lang po tayo, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Kasi nga, it should be clear. Alam mo yung ikaw na yung tinutulungan, ikaw pa yung galit. Diba? nagmagandang loob na nga tong mga tao na to. Natulungan ka para maipasa yung batas na to. Tapos, in your own view, no, sa mata mo, masasama tong mga tao na to kasi tinatanong nila kung ano yung nakapaloob sa batas mo. Inaamyendahan nila yung mga nakapaloob sa batas mo. Which is, that's a normal part of it. Hindi ka naman perfecto, di mo nga kabisado yung batas mo eh. Tapos ikaw pa yung magagalit.
Kung gusto niyo po, maglatag na po ng banig dito.
Sige nga. We challenge you. Latag ka ng banig. Gusto lang ata umuwi ni Idol eh. Alam mo, Idol, no? If you don't have the time, no, to spend there, to amend your law, to discuss the law, better quit. Kasi wala kang time eh. Diba? It just show na there's something important else that I need to do. Kaya, cut the process. Ganun ba yun?
Tapunan.
Welcome to legislative work, Mr. President.
No, hindi naman po.
Welcome to the legislative work. You got schooled. Tandaan mo, you're a neophyte. You don't know anything. Wala kang experience. Yung, kung ano yung sinasabi mo before na, I have 25 years in experience. Rafi Tulfo, this is your first time being elected in the Senate. You cannot say, I have experience already in the Senate. Magkaiba yun. Magkaiba yung experience mo bilang broadcaster dun sa experience mo sa Senado. And aminado ka, this is the first law you've passed, Rafi Tulfo. Pinakaunang batas or bill na pinasa mo na nasa umabot ng third reading. Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin na based on my experience, ganito kasi ganyan. Diba? No. Ay, nako. Ay, ayun na, BS and everything. Hindi alam pagkakaiba ng domicile at residence. He is hearing but not understanding. Diba? Senate, niya kasi yung RTIA. Sabi dito ni Ivan. Ayun, maraming salamat, J-Pro. Wait lang, medyo nag-aana. Ayan, maraming salamat, J-Pro. Don Rox Gama, maglatag ng barig sa Senado. 25 years experience in whining. Alam nyo, welcome to the legislative work. Sabay, face, tears of joy. 20 years of work, BS work. Akala niya madadaan lang sa common sense, but in fact, no. 25 years of pambababae. Ay, no. Wala ka pang napapatunayan dyan, Rafi. Diba? Diyos nga, TM. Akala ni Idol, pwedeng mekus-mekus lang paggawa ng batas. Tornado, diba? Dapat talaga pinalatag ni Senate President yung banig. It is important to note that Senator Bong Revilla is the major author of the bill as it was crafted by the previous senator. Input and is currently being discussed for amendment. Idol, only sponsor. Diba? Ay. Teacher, ready mo ng losartan mo. Nakaready na nga. I'm trying my best na ay, nako.
Welcome to legislative work, Mr. President.
No, hindi naman po gagawin.
Hindi naman po yun ganun. Kasi ang kulit eh. Kasalanan ba? Kasalanan pa ni Senator Pia dahil tinatanong ka dahil gusto niyang ng kalinawan doon sa batas na itong bill na pinapasa mo. Para matulungan ka na magkaroon ng fighting chance itong batas na to at hindi maging imbis na tumulong doon sa mga seafarers, maging mas pahirap. Nakulitan? Kasi ang kulit eh. Ay, naku. Hello, Simple Mind.
One of the Senate panel, Senators
Amendment uli nila. Amendment uli nila. Oh, wait.
So on
We're not yet done.
this
May konting
juncture, I
patalastas
move that
lang.
we resume consideration on Senate Bill number President.
Recognizing interpellation.
Mr. President. So on section 14, which is, I believe, where we left off, I left it for the senator, for the sponsor to decide if he is comfortable leaving
Hello, Ivy Dayan Abregana. Ayan, magandang gabi sa'yo. Shoutout sa'yo.
it with appropriate government agencies, given the discussion
Maria Jensen watching from Germany. Hello, hello po. Ray Labiana, magandang gabi.
that we already have.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your Honor, the reason why we didn't specify the name of the appropriate agencies, kasi nga po,
Break na sila, break na. Okay na. Kumalma na guys.
time might come na magkaroon ng addition ng mga appropriate agencies na mabigyan ng responsibility para sa training.
Stutter pa rin siya, guys. Puro, stutter na siya. Diba? And na-coach na siya, ha? In fairness, na-coach na siya. Sir Mark, kita na ang kalidad ng kandidato na ibinoto ng fanatics at subscribers, sabi rito.
And at the same time, baka yung mga agencies na i-mention natin dito, later on, ay maalis na sa listahan at hindi na sila kasali sa mga training.
Well, Rafi Tulfo, there are such thing as amendment. For now, be concise. Ngayon, kapag inalis na sila, then you can amend it. Diba? Ayan, malinaw. Pag ginawa mo, luminaw. Tapos pag sooner or later on in time, siguro mga 10 years, 20 years, nawala na sila. Doon mo amendahan. Ay, nako. What is important, Rafi Tulfo, is now. Hindi importante yung maybe somewhere in time, ganito, ganyan. No. Diba? Magkaiba yun. Sabi ni Kushing dito, gusto ko niya kasi lahat ang credit. Wala na siyang pake sa kung ano-ano ang laman ng batas. Basta lang makapag-grandstanding siya. Diba? Democratic process, dude. Sabi rito ni YGSS. Mahirap talaga pag hindi ikaw yung gumawa. Hindi ka pa nag-aaral at naghanda. Sabi ni Luis dito, kung may dadagdag, edi idagdag. Kung may alisin, edi alisin. Diba?
Na inaalaw. So mas maganda, open na lang po yun para kung sakali po merong darating yung time na nawala ang isa sa kanila o nadagdagan, at least hindi natin dito na specify at hindi na po kailangan tayo gagawa ng adjustment.
No, Rapi Tulfo. Walang flow ang permanent, Rapi Tulfo. Alam mo yung napakatamad ng tao, no? Sige, gano'n na lang natin na ganyan kasi ayokong mag-adjust in the future. Seryoso? Lahat ng batas inaamyendahan yan to cope up doon sa kung anong meron tayo in the present. No. Ang gusto ni Rapi Tulfo, hayaan na lang nating vague kasi in the future, para hindi na natin baguhin. Ay, nako. There's no shortcuts when it comes to law.
Your Honor. Kasi, if I may explain further, Mr. President, Your Honor,
Bitin pa yung explanation niya. Sige. The floor is yours. Sige.
halimbawa, nilagay natin marina who knows, later on, down the line, after a year or two, or after a few years, yung marina ay mawawala na for whatever reason, at hindi na sila ang designated na agency para sa paggawa ng training.
How will you, Teacher Mark, how will you grade his essay as a teacher? This is not even a bill for me. Well, he will not pass, actually, no? He will not pass. Just be I would consider the effort, no? But no, overall, no. 'Di ba? Kasi dapat mabusisi yung batas mo eh. It's not like pag gumawa ka ng batas bare bone lang, 'di ba? It's walang laman kumbaga. Buto-buto lang. 'Di ba? Now how will your law stand kung buto-buto lang 'yan? 60%. Ay.
etc. Then, kung ilalagay natin dito, paano na yon? So, another adjustment we're gonna make dito sa bill natin. If we specify marina, just an example, Mr. President, Your Honor. Whereas if we leave it open, then kahit na mawala marina, kahit na mawala yung CHED or any other agencies,
Teacher, masarap ang buto-buto ah. Depende sa cut at anong laman. Baka ano lang, pure na buto lang. 'Di ba? Walang utak. Utak ng utak dun sa loob hindi ibang utak yung mga ibang utak yung nasa isip nyo, yung utak dun sa loob ng buto. Yeah.
at least we don't need to make an adjustment because we left it open. Mr. President, Your Honor.
Well, normally, Your Honor, if a function of one agencies will be removed, and by legislation, normally it would be substituted by the proper authority. But on that note, as I said, it is the choice of the sponsor if he will. So there's nothing to do, Your Honor. I have no amendment on the floor. We can move on.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Madam, Your Honor. Thank
Para na lang matapos, no? Sige na lang. Ay.
you po.
Thank you, Your Honor. My next question is on hours of, my next amendment, possible amendment is
Meron
on
pa.
page 18, section 29, hours of work and hours of rest. But again, with the sponsor's permission, I need to ask a question before I make an amendment. May I proceed?
Nagpaalam na. Nagpaalam na siya, guys. Baka kasi mapikon uli, guys. Diba? Sarcastic remarks, guys. Diba? Teddy, magandang gabi. Teacher Mark, ang hindi naintindihan ni RT, kapag naisa batas yan, no turning back yan. Diba? Sa tingin ko nga, hindi ito makikarry over. I think the appropriate one is the Congress. Based on dun sa kung binasa nyo at pinagano nyo, side by side nyo. Itong kay Rafi. Tapos sa Congress, the Congress is ikaw ba naman, di ba? So many minds.
Yes, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Yes, I note that this bill applies to both ships that are Philippine-owned and foreign-owned. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. President, Your Honor.
And that would include ships that are plying just within Philippine territories, Philippine territorial waters. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, there are in fact different hours of work and hours of rest for seafarers compared to the regular hours in the labor code, no? That seems to be my impression.
I beg your pardon, Your Honor.
Wow!
It
Wow, English Idol. I beg your pardon, Your Honor. Paningis.
appears to me that the hours of work and the hours of rest of the seafarers are different from the hours of work and the hours of rest under the labor code.
Yes, Your Honor.
So I will read here, it states here that a seafarer's normal work will be 8 hours a day
Mm.
with 1 rest day per week.
If the
If the
seafarers...
seafarer is required to work beyond 8 hours, the maximum hours of work shall not exceed 14 hours in any 24-hour and 72 hours in any 7-day period. I'm not aware that this exists in the labor code. I am not certain though, because I am not a labor law practitioner, but am I correct or is it the same? Meron? Exactly the same?
Are correct. This is stated in section 60.
Ano?
Ang bilis ng mga ano, no? Ni Senator Pia, no? Ang bilis.
Normal work hours.
I never.
It is stated in section 61, Your Honor, in this bill, the hours of work and hours of rest, the provision of section 29 shall also apply to domestic seafarers. In addition, waiting time shall not be considered as compensable working time if the domestic seafarer is completely relieved from duty and can use the time effectively
Iba talaga pag law or public admin graduate. Ang bibilis, di ba? Mag-research.
for one's own purposes. So that
Ayun, sabi dito, iba ang oras sa barko, halos wala silang day off. Sabi rito ni Ivy Dayan. Diba? So, anong masusunod? Diba? There are certain ships na may adopt this one. There are some certain ships na hindi.
that means that, yes, Your Honor, it also applies to domestic seafarers.
Yes, what His Honor is saying is section 29 applies to domestic seafarers. But my question was, that was one of my questions. My other question was, are these hours of work identical or similar to the labor code provisions?
Sabi dito, usually shift doon po sila. Imagine, Teacher Mark, the experience of the
It is
new
not in
law
the
student trying to study and to figure out this mecus law. I won't be surprised if they got hospitalized. Dumugo utak, di ba?
labor code, Mr. President, Your Honor, but it's in the Department Order number 129, series of 2013, under the Department of Labor and Employment. Rules and regulations governing the employment and working conditions of seafarers on board ships engaged in domestic shipping. So, ibig sabihin,
So,
yung
domestic lang siya. It's not, if it is overseas, it doesn't apply. Tama ba?
basis po nito ay sa Department Order number 129.
Okay. So wala man siya sa labor code, there is a basis which is itong department order. Is that correct?
Your Honor, Department Order 129.
So in other words, kinopya po ito doon. Consistent po ito doon.
Tama po, Mr. President, Your Honor, consistent sa
What year po yan?
Ito pong series of Department Order 129, series of 2013, June 17, 2013,
2013. Okay.
yung date
So,
po nito.
ito na ho yung tanong ko that will be the basis of my decision if I will make an amendment. It says here, the minimum hours of rest for every seafarer shall be at least 10 hours in a 24-hour period. In other words, kasi before that, sabi, yung work niya, wag daw
10 hours in a 24 hours period. So, 12 hours trabaho niya.
mag-exceed ng 14. So if there's 24 hours in a day, yun na nga, 10 hours yung kanyang rest, no? And then it goes on to say the hours of rest are divisible into two periods, one of which will be at least 6 hours in length. So kung yung time niya magpahinga 10 hours, yung isa doon kailangan at least 6 hours. So yun na yung minimum na ibibigay sa kanya na rest. And syempre, maliligo pa siya,
Unang oras sa barko, oy, RT.
magbibihis pa siya. So baka yung tulog na lang niya 5 hours na lang. And science tells us that the average sleep a human should get, more or less, is 7 to 8 hours. So the reason I asked for the basis of this is because it appears based on this bill that talagang pwede palang 5 hours ang tulog lang ng seafarers natin? Yun ho ba talaga ang katanggap-tanggap po ba sa atin yun?
Yan po yung naka...
Well, iba rin eh. Remember, I have this story about my friend, no, na he died during naglalayag, no, because of he lacks rest. May ano siya, may lagnat, but he needs to go to work. So what happened is, ayun, nabinat, no? Until, ayun, binawian nga ng buhay. No, kung 5 hours siguro, depende. Diba? It's subjective. Sometimes, no, people can sleep 5 hours a day. But sometimes, some people cannot. Diba? So, iba't ibang tao, iba't ibang, ano yan eh, length of sleep. Diba? But, the optimal, no, is around 6 to 7. 6 to 8 hours. Optimal yun.
MLC natin, Your Honor. Anyway, hindi naman 5 hours a day ang pahinga lang niya. Pag i-divide mo yan, pwede namang 1 day, 5 hours lang, and then later, more than 5 hours, hanggang sa ma-reach niya yung certain period na kailangan magkaroon siya ng that number of rest in a 7-day period, Your Honor.
Sir, minimum.
Minimum.
Hindi ko yata naintindihan yun.
Hindi ko rin naintindihan eh. Nasanay sa grandstanding lang yan ang trabaho ninyo.
Sir, minimum.
Minimum.
Hindi ko yata naintindihan yun.
Pwede naman 2 hours.
Kasi your bill states that kailangan lang siyang mabigyan ng 10 hours. And itong 10 hours can be divided into 2 for so long as may 6 hours. So what I'm saying is, if nagsunod-sunod na araw to or every other day, then possibly yung 6 hours na binigay sa kanya, baka 5 hours lang yung tulog niya. So nag-aalala lang po ako, is that really the standard internationally, and are we okay with it? And I apologize that I have to ask that question because I am not an expert po. So pag dinaanan ko to, tapos papayag tayo as a body na ganun ang standards, mabigat po sa akin yun. But again, I am not the expert. I'm just stating what I know about
Ayan, Maite Baeza, shoutout sa'yo.
science and the need for sleep.
You have a point there, Madam.
Naintindihan mo ba? You have a point there. Sige, tignan natin.
Mr. President and Your Honor, but it is the international standard. It states there. At minimum lang naman po ito.
What do you mean by that, sir? Kasi pwede siyang magtrabaho ng 14. So may iwan lang na pahinga niya is 10. And then pwede siyang i-divide into 2. So 6. Kaya nga sabi ko, mga 5 plus lang ang maiiwan sa kanya. So that is a fact.
24 hours. No? Pwede siya magtrabaho ng 24 hours. Tapos 10 hours. Divided by 2. 5.
Huh? See, ito po ang nakalagay minimum standard sa MLC, Mr. President, Your Honor, na which we ratified
RTA standard, 24 hours working. Sa bagay, di ba? Yun yung sinabi nila na they're working 24 hours a day.
And I'm talking about the MLC 2006, Mr. President, Your Honor. For the minimum standard as set forth by the MLC, Your Honor.
Sabi pa dito, may drills pa nga na ginagawa outside of the working hours. So, it will, kung yung drill na yun, sumakto doon sa dapat na day off mo, so it will be lesser rest for you. Tama ba?
May sasabihin pa ho kayo or you're saying that that is what is indicated? Yung nakasulat dito sa bill nyo, yun na ho yun, na nasa MLC. Yun na yun.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Your
and
Honor.
we are a signatory to that. So
And we are
basically,
signatory.
tinanggap na natin yon. Now is not the time for us to question that. Okay, so in that case, Your Honor, wala na akong amendment. I just express my concern na pakahirap talaga din ang buhay ng seafarer, ano?
Opo.
I'll move on, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Meron pa,
Doon
marami pa.
din sa hours of work and rest, hindi ho ba dumadami na ang seafarers na babae?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oo. And pagka domestic ho yung biyahe nila, how long are they usually on a ship? Or I'm sure it varies, but what are the
The
normal?
average.
Ang domestic kasi, Your Honor, short term lang po yan. Unlike dun sa international na ang biyahe from point A to point B na inaabot ng weeks.
Or even months.
So there's a difference between domestic and international. Like as we know, pagdating sa domestic, sometimes meron yung biyahe ng barko na 24 hours lang. Meron umabot as long as 3 days. But wala po akong alam na barko biyahe dito, inter-island vessels, domestic ships na umaabot po ng 1 linggo from point A to point B.
Yes, yes. Oo. Thank you. Kasi Your Honor, my amendment, if at all, would be with regards to an existing law, which is the Expanded Breastfeeding Promotion Act. This law requires that employers give their female lactating employee time to express their milk. So, kaya ko naitanong na maiksi lang ba yung biyahe niyan? Kasi kung maiksi, pwede nilang i-store yung milk nila and then iuwi pa nila sa baby nila. So, covered naman ba ito ng ating general provisions in our law that requires that Philippine laws are followed? Or would His Honor be of the view that an amendment would be necessary to ensure that that is included?
Actually, no, it's not included here because this is a copy of MLC and SEC. So if the new provisions by Senator Pia is concerned with if Senator Pia is concerned with those provisions, no, I think it's not included here.
Are you referring to the domestic shipping?
Domestic, yes, Your Honor. Domestic,
Domestic.
yes.
Okay, then Philippine laws would
Governed.
be governed and followed,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Okay, so in that case, Your Honor, no need again for an amendment. I just want to spread into the record that ship owners have to be conscious of this law, the expanded breastfeeding law, which requires that they give their female lactating mothers time to breastfeed.
Yes, yes, Mr. President, Your Honor.
Yes.
You're correct.
And I was, the only discussion I know that His
Women's right consideration, exactly, no?
Honor staff had with my staff was with regards to an earlier question I had on the amendment actually that I made on health status, no? And I understand that there is an issue accepting my amendment. I will make this simple, Your Honor. Again, this is also a law. This is a Philippine policy. No, so I'm spreading it into the record that for domestic travels that must be followed kasi Philippine law. So I can see His Honor nodding his head. So does that mean that subject to style my amendment is accepted for domestic seafaring?
The amendment with yung the law regarding discrimination, yung mga may mga tao na may hepatitis. Now, when it comes to the Philippines, no, bawal silang i-discriminate just because of their sickness, no, or their physical condition, no. So, ang sabi ni Rafi Tulfo, there are conflicts with it. Diba? And I talked with Mang Rene regarding it, no. Sabi niya, hindi naman sa there is discrimination about it, but no, some boat owners, no, don't hire people with underlying conditions just because of they don't want to pay. Sometimes they don't want to pay, diba? Na right outright na may isa na may karamdaman and so on and so forth. Diba? So, ang mangyayari dyan, you will be subjected to physical test. Now, if you are not physically fit, it does mean na hindi ka makakapasok sa barko. But, taking into consideration na mayroon tayong Philippine law, no, kung hindi pwede doon sa overseas boat, baka marahil, no, pwede sa boats na nasa Pilipinas.
Yes, Mr. President, Your Honor. Yes, I
Thank you.
accept.
Thank you very much. And in the period of during the BICAM, I ask the indulgence of His Honor because he is the one with the resource persons who are probably in contact, no, with Dole and the like. But we will also ask my own staff to try to connect with them to see how that works internationally. It is not my area of expertise. I do not know about international practice. So hopefully in the period of during the BICAM, we can get clarity for the international portion.
Yes, Your
Your
Honor.
Honor.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Mr. President, Your Honor.
Ayun, so tapos na dyan. So, up next is ay, meron pa pala. Well,
Okay, thank you.
meron pa ba? I think it's
Page 24, line 11. My amendment is delete the phrase COVID-19 or similar, such that the phrase would read, seafarers who have contracted diseases of international concern or which cause global health emergency. Sa akin lang naman po, kumbaga, medyo tapos na ho yung COVID-19, so it's suffice it to say that any disease of international concern
Teacher Mark, baka kunin ni Eindel na resource person yung mga vloggers niya. DS and everything din lahat. Ganun ba yun? Di ba? Ay, nako.
should be covered by this bill, by this provision. No need to mention COVID-19.
That is correct. You're definitely right, Your Honor, and I accept.
Thank you.
Mr. President, Your Honor.
So, ayun, puro amendments na lang to eh. No? So, puro amendments na lang ni Senator Pia. Up next nang gagawin natin is a BICAM. Yun nga, sabi ko is pagbabanggain nila itong an act instituting the Magna Carta of Filipino Seafarers ng House of Representatives, no? House number 7325, no? 19 Congress. Ayan. Diba? Siksik liglig umaapaw compared doon sa kay Rafi Tulfo na let's say batas bill ni Rafi Tulfo. Diba? So, wag kayong maniwala doon sa sinasabi nila na pipirmahan na lang ng presidente yan. Magbabaygan pa tayo, guys. Kung ito, no? Normally kasi pinagmi-mix up yan eh. But if the provisions of this, no, House of Congress Magna Carta is better than the provisions of the Magna Carta for seafarers ng Senate, mataas yung chance na ito na lang i-adapt nila. And yung batas na ginawa ni Rapi Tulfo ay mapadpad sa kangkungan. Diba? So, ayun. Teacher Mark, shoutout dun sa resource person na vlogger ni Arky na umaming addict. Hindi ni Rabat eh. Diba? Hindi ni Rabat. Ay, nako. So, yun lang para sa atin, guys. I'll see you later kay Attorney Libayan. And kumain ng tama sa oras, guys. This is your Teacher Mark, out. Bye-bye, guys.